There is a place in Europe where time has stopped, a place untouched by the modern world. No cities, no traffic, no voices of women. For more than 1,000 years, the monks of Mount Athos have lived in silence, praying, fasting, and keeping secrets the world was never meant to see. They call it the Holy Mountain. The rest of the world calls it forbidden. Why is this land closed to half of humanity? What ancient rule still binds its gates shut? And what lies behind the silence of its walls? Mount Athos rises like a spear from the Aegean Sea, a narrow peninsula in northern Greece, 33 kilometers long, crowned by a single mountain that pierces the clouds. For 1,000 years, it has been a nation within a nation, a monastic republic. 20 monasteries, 2,000 monks, no women, no noise. The monks say this is the garden of the Virgin Mary. They believe she herself blessed the land, and that no other woman may set foot where she walks. The first hermits came here in the 9th century, seeking silence, and found it. By 1045, the Byzantine Emperor Constantine IX issued a decree. Let Mount Athos be a land of prayer and purity. No woman shall enter upon it forever. Since that moment, the rule has never been broken. Even today, this peninsula governs itself. It has its own flag, its own council, and even the Greek police need permission to cross its border. It is Europe's last living theocracy, a state of monks bound by divine law. At 4 in the morning, the bells ring. The monks rise from narrow wooden beds, wrap themselves in black robes, and step into darkness. There are no alarms, no screens, no voices, only the whisper of prayer. They eat once a day, vegetables, olives, bread, no meat, no conversation. Every action is done with purpose. Every word, a prayer. The air smells of wax and incense. Candles flicker over manuscripts written by hand, just as they were 900 years ago. Some of these men have not spoken for decades. Their silence is not punishment. It is devotion. When you speak, one monk once said, you scatter your soul into the wind. But in silence, you can finally hear God. Outside the monastery walls, the world rushes by. But on Mount Athos, time does not move. It only breathes. They call it Avaton, the ancient decree that forbids all women from entering. It was written more than 950 years ago, yet it still holds the force of law. Even today, the borders of Athos are guarded by sea patrols. Only 100 visitors a day are allowed entry, and only men. Those who come must leave their phones behind, sign a permit, and agree to obey the ancient monastic code. In 2003, the European Union questioned this law, calling it discrimination. The monks replied simply, "This mountain does not belong to Europe. It belongs to God." Athos is beyond politics, beyond borders, a medieval island of faith floating inside the modern world. Inside these stone monasteries lie stories science cannot explain, icons that weep real tears, candles that relight themselves, bodies of saints that never decay. The monks say they are signs of divine presence. Skeptics call them myths. Yet even scientists admit some of these phenomena remain unexplained. In 1995, researchers examined a relic said to exude myrrh. The liquid was organic, but its source could not be found. There are stories of lights seen above the mountain, moving across the sky like lanterns of fire. Pilgrims speak of hearing voices in the wind. Whether miracle or imagination, these stories have turned Athos into a living legend, a place where heaven and earth almost touch. Mount Athos guards one of the greatest collections of ancient texts on Earth. Over 15,000 manuscripts, many written in Greek, Arabic, and Syriac. Some older than the Crusades. Inside the monastery of Vadapeti lies a chamber locked for centuries. No outsiders are allowed within. Scholars believe it may contain lost writings of the early church, perhaps even pre-canonical versions of the Bible. The Vatican has requested access. It was denied. To the monks, these texts are not research. They are living prayers, guarded as sacred as their own hearts. One said quietly, "If the world is not ready for truth, the truth must remain in silence." As the sun sets behind the Aegean, bells toll once more. The monks walk in procession, candles trembling in the wind, their shadows stretching along ancient walls. No words, no music, only the rhythm of prayer. Perhaps the silence of Mount Athos is not emptiness, but protection. A fortress built not of stone, but faith. For 1,000 years, wars have come and gone, empires risen and fallen, yet the mountain still prays. Maybe the monks of Athos are not hiding something from us, but keeping something safe for us. In a world drowning in noise, there remains one place that listens. A place where faith has outlived empires and silence has outlasted time. Mount Athos, the forbidden world that still whispers to heaven.